Do you want to do the intro song this time?
No.
No?
No.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? It's another video. See, if you would have done it yourself, you could have had complete control over how it came out, and now you're just stuck with that. So thanks.
I'm full of regrets.
As usual. What's up, everybody? So this is this week's installment of You Tell Us. I woke up this morning and I saw the new PayPal. It was like the PayPal account user agreement. They're making some changes to it.
Mm-hmm. The amendments to the PayPal user agreement.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, we don't really know exactly what all this is going to mean, but we wanted to go ahead and do a video because I'm sure by now some of you, all of you, maybe none of you have maybe seen this go up and have questions about it. Maybe you're worried about it. And to be honest, we do too. And so
it's kind of floating around a little bit on social media so far. I've seen it posted a couple of different places. The email came through. You got the email. I did not.
I actually didn't get the email. I saw this on Reddit when I first woke up this morning. So I did not. I mean, maybe I got the email. I just didn't see it, but whatever. Anyway, there's a few different things and we don't know everything about it, anything about everything, whatever. But the biggest thing that jumped out to me was the part where they talk about refunds, and they say that they're going to be changing how they treat refunds. Now, right now, currently, if anytime you have a transaction that goes through PayPal, there's a couple of different fees. Mm-hmm. What are those fees?
So you're going to pay a 3% transaction fee.
Like 2.9, but it's basically 3%.
It's basically 3% transaction fee plus a 30-cent transaction fee for each transaction.
So whether it's like a $15 charge or a $300 charge, you always pay that 30 cents.
Plus the 3% or 2.95 or whatever it is. But let's just call it 3%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so as far as I know, currently the way it already works is that somebody buys something, they pay you through PayPal, you pay 30 cents, and then you pay the 2.9% transaction fee on top of that. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have to do a refund, let's say there's a return, or I've had it happen where somebody buys something from me and before it's like 20 minutes later, they're like, oh, I made a mistake or whatever.
I changed my mind, don't ship it.
Don't ship it, cancel it. So you cancel it and give them a refund. You get that 2.9% transaction fee back from PayPal.
Correct.
But as far as I know, I believe they keep the 30-cent transaction
fee. They keep the 30-cent transaction fee.
Which, whatever.
So whatever. So it's inconvenient, but it's 30 cents.
And they provide a service, so it's not their fault that you had to refund or whatever. But here is where things get interesting. So according to this update, this is going to be going into effect on May 7th. So it's not for another month. So hopefully we'll get more information before then. But here's exactly what the language says, and I've actually linked this page down below so you can go and look for yourself. It doesn't really have a lot of details, but it says... And
calling them did not reveal a lot of details.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a second. But so here's what it says. We're changing how we treat refunds. If you refund partially or fully a transaction to a buyer or a donation to a donor, there are no fees to make the refund, but the fees you originally paid as the seller will not be returned to you. So that's right here. So again, I'm going to link, I don't know if that's showing, but anyway, whatever. I'm going to link it at the bottom. Now, it doesn't say what that means. It doesn't say like the 30-cent fee, the 2.9% fee, what's not getting returned, but it's just really vague. It's just basically saying, we're changing how we treat refunds, and we're not going to give you any fees back. That's basically what it says to me, right?
Right.
And so
that's what it sounds like.
So I did call, and shockingly, I actually got through relatively quickly.
And spoke to 2 people.
Yeah, and honestly, got no information. And I'm guessing that whoever it is that works, with the customer service there, they probably don't even really have this information yet. I think
Which is unfortunate because they really need to have this information.
Yeah, I know. So I was asking this woman about it, and she just kept referring to what their policy currently is. And I'm like, yeah, but... Because she kept saying like, oh no, you get the 2.9% back. We just keep the 30 cents. And I'm like, but that's how it already is. That's how it is right now. And it says in this update, it says we're changing it and that they're not going to be returned to you. And so ultimately the way the phone call ended was she basically said, well, we won't have that information until May 7th and then we'll be able to tell you. Which was like, okay, thanks a lot.
So you're kind of like,
Yeah. So there's a couple different possibilities. One, we're going to find out, they're going to clarify, and it's not going to include 2.9%, which I think is a little weird to say that they're changing it if they're not actually changing it, but that's one possibility. The other possibility is it's exactly the way it looks to be, and they really are going to no longer refund that 2.9%. Now, I'm not telling you guys this to panic you or anything like that, because, you know,
it's not an exorbitant amount of money on an odd transaction here or there that you do the refund. If you don't do a lot of refunds or you don't do any refunds, then it's not going to affect you at all. But if you know, in the normal course of business, especially depending on the level of your store or the dollar amount of what you sell, this can be fairly significant. If you are giving refunds for $3 and $4 and $5 and $600 items here and there, 3% of that you're going to lose every time can add up if it happens frequently enough. So,
well, somebody bought something from you, let's say for $500, and then an hour later they're like, I changed my mind. I mean, technically you can refuse to cancel, but I wouldn't advise doing that, because you don't want to force somebody to take something they don't want.
Yeah.
But if it's true that they're no longer going to refund that 2.9%, basically that means you would just lose $15 in that transaction.
Plus the 30 cents.
Well, that's whatever.
30 cents is whatever, but you know,
$15 and nothing happened. I mean, that's kind of a lot. So again, like, we don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, let's say that is the way it goes. Are you going to stop taking returns?
Well, no, it's just going to be another cost of doing business, and it's going to be another write-off and all that kind of stuff, but it's still going to sting.
Right.
If there's a big one, it's going to sting, and it's going to be another pain in the neck.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change how I do business. It's just...
Yeah, so, like, as far as returns go, it doesn't negate the fact that by having returns, you open yourself up to more sales. Not having returns, there's a lot of people, I'm included, like, I don't buy from anybody who doesn't take returns. So it just is kind of a pain.
And I don't do free returns. Katie does. I did do free returns for 9 months out of last year, and I will say my returns were through the roof. And I went back to buyer paid returns, and my sales have not suffered. In fact, my sales are excellent, and my returns definitely went down to a normal level where I'm getting, you know, a couple a month or a few a month, which is fine, and that was a normal level for me. You know, and half the time the buyer claims item not as described, so they don't have to pay return shipping. And could I fight it? Yes. Do I want to spend the time and waste the time to do it? No. I figure it's just a cost of doing business, and I just deal with it. But it has significantly cut down my returns for sure.
Now, if it is the case that what they're saying is they will no longer be refunding that 2.9% transaction fee, I do think, for me anyway, it makes me look forward more to getting into the managed payments program with eBay. Now, neither one of us currently are in the managed payments program for a couple of reasons. First of all, I wasn't really wanting to go into it just before fourth quarter with them not having PayPal. Now, they are adding PayPal back in. Looks like sometime this summer.
The second rollout of the process this summer.
I wasn't ready to step into a new program with that being taken away, and I knew at the time that they were going to be adding that back in, so I was just like, you know, I'll wait. And then the other thing I think that was a big factor for both of us is that with the initial rollout, the beta part of that program, there were a lot of restrictions and continue to be a lot of restrictions on international sales. Just the way, you know, it makes it a little bit, it restricts international sales. And for us, I know for me, I do like 20% of my business is international.
Not 20% for me, but it was 15% last year.
Yeah. And so for me, that was one of the reasons. But otherwise, I've been looking forward to when it's fully functional, getting into that managed payments program, because they're going to be adding, you know, Apple Pay, or I think they already have Apple Pay, and like Google Wallet, all these other like ways of paying, including
pretty
PayPal.
Much any other major company is going to accept when you're buying online.
Yeah, for sure. And so with this whole thing with PayPal, it just makes me go like, well, good, because you know, once we're in managed payments, yes, they'll still be able to use PayPal, but it'll only be a portion of your payments. And so we won't be completely dependent on PayPal if this is the case. But I don't know. Bottom line, I mean, even though we don't have, you know, really any answers or part of the answers, I would just say, like, don't freak out, but you should be aware that this change is potentially coming.
And keep an eye out for your emails and any notifications you get from PayPal, so that you know, because it's going to have, when that makes that change, you're going to have to agree to the updated PayPal user agreement. They usually send an email. And most of us, I know I do, I tend to just delete it. I ignore it. I delete it. I don't read it. So just make it a point to maybe skim through it and take a look at it in a way that maybe you wouldn't have beforehand, so you can see it for yourself.
But definitely, like we say with everything, like don't make business-based, don't make fear-based business decisions. Don't make decisions about your business because you're freaking out or you're having like a negative reaction. If this truly is going to be a case where we are no longer going to get refunded that 2.9% transaction fee, it's a bummer. It makes me care less about sticking with PayPal once, Managed Payments takes over, but it's not going to change anything about the way that I do business. I'm still going to continue to accept returns because I think ultimately the benefits far outweigh any costs such as this. I'm not going to be one of those, I always see like buyers, or not buyers, I always see sellers like post questions in Facebook groups like,
that's it. This person's the last time. I'm quitting eBay. I'm selling everything on Facebook Marketplace because that's so much better.
Yeah. Well, this isn't an eBay thing, but yeah, that's one thing. But then the other thing I was going to say is, sellers will say, oh, this person is asking to cancel. They sent me this message that said my kid accidentally bought this and now they want to cancel and I'm going to tell them no. And it's like, really, like, don't.
You can't force somebody to take your stuff.
What's going to happen is you force it, and let's say you do ship it to them, then it's going to probably turn into a return, or it's going to turn into an INAD or something. You don't want to force somebody to take your stuff. So just be aware that this is what's going on. And then, I don't know, you tell us.
Why'd you say it all creepy like that?
I don't know. But seriously, we want to hear your feedback. We want to know your thoughts on this. We also just want you guys to know this is happening. But tell us, like, what do you think about this? Does it change how you feel about managed payments?
Is it going to change how you handle your return process?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah. Definitely, you tell us. And then the other part of the PayPal thing, there is some stuff that's changing as far as personal PayPal accounts go. We both have business accounts, but if you do have a personal account, you should go ahead and, again, the link is down below. Make sure you read that because there are some
See how it affects you.
We'll probably be talking about it more in the future. We don't fully understand exactly what it's all about. And again, it doesn't affect us personally, but it is like some slight changes to the way they're doing things with holding balances in PayPal. And different requirements that are going to be happening here.
Bottom line, in that regard, you should probably just get a business account. If you don't have a business account, you should just get one. It doesn't cost anymore.
Yeah, it's easy.
And you just have to answer a few more questions to have your PayPal account converted to business. I would totally do that. It gives you better stuff. So
yeah. So basically, you tell us. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.